Okay, I'm going to go ahead and help each other out if you're still catching up. We should all have now at least one clip, and it should be 7 seconds long in our timeline. That should be our extreme wide shot. Now we need to go to our next clip, which is the very wide shot. Okay, we're going to do the exact same thing with our very wide shot. Start at the start of it, push play, get past any major bumps, and then set your end point. Again, you set your end point by pushing I on the keyboard. Again, it's just I, it's not Command I. Just I is the shortcut. Or you click on this little bracket that says Mark In, and you set your end point. The orange bracket will be where your end point is. Okay, then you push play. You watch to make sure there's no major bumps or problems with the shot. And you set your out point. Again, the shortcut for the out point is O on the keyboard, or you can click the Mark Out button in your source monitor. Alright, then pay attention to the duration, which are the white numbers. Mine is currently 5 seconds and 24 frames. So it's almost 6 seconds, which means it's a little bit shy of 7 seconds. So I need to hover over the out point and drag it to exactly 7 seconds. Okay, if my white numbers say 7, then I have exactly 7 seconds. By the way, if you fail to record at least 7 seconds of good footage, then get as much good footage as you can. Maybe it's 6 seconds, maybe it's 5, but get as much as you can. But please learn from this. This is why we always record at least 10 seconds of a shot, if not more. Because we are human. We bump the camera, we make mistakes, things like that. You want to make sure you have at least 10 good seconds of every shot you ever take so that you can edit. Alright? So now we have our 7 best seconds. We're going to put it down in the timeline. Make sure that the playhead in the timeline is right at the very end of the first clip. The easiest way to make sure it's at the very end of the first clip is to use your up and down arrows. If you're down in your timeline and you push up, it's going to move it up to the end or start of the next clip. Down will move it back. Look at my timeline. When I push up, it jumps to the front of the clip. When I push down, it jumps right to the end of the clip. Up, front of the clip, down, end of the clip. Okay, that way I can ensure that my playhead is right at the end so that when I put this into my timeline, this next clip, it puts it exactly at the end of the first clip. So now that my playhead's at the exact end of the first clip, I can click on the new shot, the very wide shot, which I have my in point and my out point already set. I click and drag it into the program window. I let go and look at your sequence. You'll now have 2 clips in your timeline. Go to the front, push play. You'll see the extreme wide shot plays, and then it instantly cuts to the very wide shot after 7 seconds. Boom, there's the very wide shot. It will play that 7 seconds, and then it will hit black because I don't have anything else in there. Now let me demonstrate what happens if you do that and you don't have the playhead or the cursor in the right spot on the timeline. Okay, again, push Command S, people, or File Save to save your edits. Command S is the shortcut. File Save is how you do it on your screen. Alright, so let me demonstrate again what would happen if I did that with it in the wrong place. Look at my sequence. Suppose that my cursor was right here. It's like halfway through that clip. And then I take my second clip and I drag it into the program window and I let go. Look at sequence. Look at your timeline. Notice that it erased part of it because it started it where I had the playhead. So now I've only got that first clip for a second or two. Basically almost 3 seconds, and then it cuts to the next one because it erased it. If you ever do that, the easiest way to fix it, the easiest way to fix any mistake, is Command Z. Command Z as in zebra will undo your last edit. So if you ever make a mistake, just pause, catch your breath, don't freak out, push Command Z, and it will undo your edit. Okay? You push it again, it will undo whatever the edit was before that. It will go back, I don't know how far it goes back, maybe 10 edits. Okay? So that's one reason why you want to make sure it's not in the wrong place. But let's suppose it was over here to the right. It's not on top of that last clip, but it left all this space. And then I take my next clip and I drag it, click and drag it into the program window, and I let go. It put it into the timeline, and it didn't erase the first one, but it left a big gap. So watch how this plays if I do it like that. The first clip, my extreme wide shot, will play for 7 seconds. And then I'm going to have 5 or 6 seconds of black because I left that big gap right there. And then the next one's going to play. Okay, that's an editing mistake. We don't want a space of black. You can remove the black 2 ways if you do make that mistake. The easiest way is to click on the gap. It will select the blank space. And then push delete on your keyboard and it will remove it. Let me show you that one more time. If you ever have a space you need to remove in a timeline, you can click on that empty space and then push delete on your keyboard and it will remove it. That's one way. The other way is to select your clip and just click and drag it and it will snap to the end. Notice how it snaps to the end. If yours doesn't snap to the end, if yours rolls past it, if it doesn't snap exactly to the end of the last clip, then that means you don't have your snapping tool on. See this magnet tool? That magnet icon in the timeline? That's your snap tool. If it's not dark gray, that means it's not turned on. So I want to click it and make sure it's turned on. Then when I click on a clip and drag it, it will snap. When I get close, it will snap it right to the edge. Okay? Snap. Let go, now the gap's gone. Push play, you should have no gap. I have a little bit of a gap. That's because I made a mistake somewhere. Okay? So let me undo that. Okay, so one last time. Make sure your playhead is right at the end of your first clip. Up and down arrows are the easiest way to do that. Click on your new clip, the next one, the very wide shot. Click on it and drag it to the program window, let go. It will insert it. You now have 2 clips that play back to back. Here's clip 1, your extreme wide shot should play for 7 seconds and then it should cut to your very wide shot and that should play for 7 seconds. That's how you make your edits. If that makes sense to you and you're cruising along, you now, and also make sure you save, Command S, you now just need to go ahead and do that with the next 5 clips, okay? So you should have all 7 clips down here, 7 seconds long, best 7 seconds you could find. To get full credit, you need all 7, and then I'll show you what we do next. We're going to add transitions to each clip so they transition in between clips instead of cut. So go ahead and get all 7 clips edited and in your timeline, and then I'll show you how we add transitions next. If you get it and your neighbor needs help, please help your neighbor. And I'll walk around for a minute. Don't tell me I didn't record that whole thing.